Today's Albion Online video is all about the fastest way to fame farm in the entire game, and I've made this video many times, but I'm just making an updated video for you to explain because I'm still seeing people get it wrong. Let's talk about it. So, we are going to be fame farming in a tier 4, that's right, in a blue zone. It's literally the fastest fame farm, I'm not joking. A tier 4 blue zone static open world area. We're going to be using the Cala Purity for pure beam damage. We're going to be using Stalker Jacket for pure damage. We're using the Cultist Sandals to increase our damage by lowering the enemy's resistance. We're using a Shadow Collar for pure damage and sustain. Now, this one has lifesteal. You don't need lifesteal on it, but it just helps. Crypt Candle for more damage. Thetford Cape for more damage. Roast Pork, you absolutely need this for lifesteal. And Healing Potion just to stay alive. No invisibility potions here. Satchel of Insight 8.4. With it turned on, we have Premium active, we have Auto Respec turned on, and it is the Static Dungeon Fame 15% day. I am faction flagged for another 15% boost. That is as high as you're getting without being in a guild and sucking toes. So we're going to switch to a bear mount. Any bear mount works. And we're going to be mass pulling the enemies using these abilities right here. We're using Cursed Tar, Cursed Beam, and Inner Shadow, which when we're wearing leather, will heal us for the damage we deal. We're going to eat the Roast Pork, get on our bear mount, and we're going to mass pull a bunch of mobs. These mobs are meant to be done by groups of players, and they're quite tough, but we have the sustain to be able to fight these, and I do have to dodge as I cast these Cursed Puddles. I'm going to cast all of my spells, hit them with the beam here, and then hit them with my W spell, and it should melt most of their health bars. Then I'm going to continue to hit them with puddles and auto attacks so that I can kill them off. And you'll see here that we've already, completed the daily challenge. And I want you to look at the fame numbers that are rising above my character's head here in just a sec, because it is a lot. It's going to be a huge amount. Also, I want to point out that this specific area is what's called rallying, and I'll show you what that means. So, on the map, you'll see that it's shimmering, and when I click it, it says undead troops are rallying. So that means that they are being upgraded at a higher rate. Just look at the fame numbers floating over my head. 19,000, 17,000. These are very high numbers, and we're pulling masses of enemies. You also may be wondering, why not go to a static zone in a tier 5 yellow zone? And the answer is quite simple. The yellow zones, while they do give more fame per mob kill, they don't have as much mob density. What does mob density mean? Mob density is how many enemies you're fighting at a time. You can see here that when I'm pulling these enemies, I'm fighting a huge amount of them all at once. Anywhere from 5 to 10 enemies or more. Whereas in the yellow zones, I can maybe pull 3 to 4 tops, right? Maybe 5 if I'm really lucky and get a good juicy pull. But you're not going to pull a whole bunch of enemies. So the fact that I can pull like 10 enemies at a time and kill them for slightly less fame adds up more than, just a small chunk for a beefier amount. Alright, so we have, look at all of these enemies. Like, that's like 4, 5, 6 right there. These are just really big, juicy pulls. And yes, not all the mobs are upgraded. That's totally fine. But, yeah, this is how you fame farm. It's just, it's the most fastest and efficient way. And you may be wondering, but I want to level up a PvP weapon. I want to level up, the bow, or, I don't know, the holy staff. And the way Albion Online works is we are able to level that up, because everything that I'm doing is giving me combat fame credits. This number right here can be spent on anything I want. On armor, on weapons, on anything and everything. Let's see. Let's try to do a little difficult pull here. Now, the archers are the most dangerous mob in this zone. The archers deal the most damage. They can stun you. They can interrupt your heals, which can be very devastating. The melee units, you can kite them around. I can basically out-sustain the melee damage because I can dodge all of their skill shots. But just the archers alone, they hit so damn hard. Archers hit insanely hard. So they are the ones that you gotta watch out for. But yeah, we're gonna just pull a bunch. Also, the wizard characters, they're not the most dangerous, but they can freeze you. They if you stand in the icicle like rain, whatever it is, where it's like raining a bunch of icicles, that can deal a lot of damage. And you'll notice that the archers also reposition themselves too. So, there we go. We got to make sure that we put curse puddles under these archers, and preferably take them out first. But, you know, we're kind of split here. It's kind of like when you're bowling and you have, you know, like 2 pins on each side. You just got to split your attacks up and take them out. There we go. Alright. So, let's see. Down here, that's, you gotta, if you want to do pulls, also my mount is nearly about to die, so I'm gonna do some pulls on foot here. Just let my mount take a little 25-second rest so it can get its health back. And yeah, I'm doing some small pulls. You don't always have to do big pulls like I am, but by doing the big pulls, you will, look at that, we've already farmed 2,500 faction points in under 6 minutes. 2,500 faction points in under 6 minutes. That's really crazy. That's wild, right? Like, this out-farms faction points better than a pre-made in Discord bandit event. I'm not joking. This is not only the best faction farm, it's the best fame farm. It's nuts. It's nuts how good this truly is. And people, well, either they think that they can't do it, and I know there's always an argument that people say, well, this isn't new player friendly. And yes, it technically is. I'm going to explain how it is new player friendly. It is new player friendly after playing for 3 days. You spend your first 2 days gathering and 1 day faming up to 100 mastery. You can buy an 8.3 set. You don't need 8.4 awakened. I'm just doing it because it's faster and more efficient. You absolutely do not need 8.4 to do this. 8.3 is more than strong enough to do this. And on your 3rd day, you can start doing this. Now, as far as affording the satchel costs and the auto-respec costs, yeah, you probably won't have, you know, that much money on your 3rd day. But if you're smart with flipping and crafting, and you're smart with the markets, and you have, you know, your private farmlands going and premium active, then you can afford to do this, you know, every single day. If you want to fame up every single day, you can absolutely afford to do it. Now, you can't afford to sit here and do this, you know, 12 hours a day, because that would drain the hell out of your silver. So I just want to point out, we're 7 minutes into this farm, and I started with 100 million silver in my inventory. That's I went and made sure I had exactly 100 million silver. My silver is down to 97,781,000. So that means I've already spent in 7 minutes 2 million silver on fees, okay? And I'll tell you right now, the amount of fame that I've already farmed is much more higher than someone spending hours in the black zone. That's right. I've already saved myself hours of time, you know, that someone would be spending in the black zone. And look at my HP here, look how fast it drains, but look at their HP, and look at how many enemies I'm killing all at once. You're not going to be killing this densely high amount of packed mobs in the black zones by yourself, guildless as a solo player. Yes, if you're farming open world mobs and you're doing black zone content, you only outfarm the yellow zone if you go in like a 2 to 3 million set. If you're in a guild that is protecting that particular black zone, that is actively patrolling and, you know, making sure that other gank squads aren't there killing you. Even then, that's only like, what was it, like 3 or 4 million fame per hour? Which doesn't compare. This is 20 million fame per hour. This is absolutely, I opened this up at the start of the video, we're at 15.5 million. It was at 13 something. And remember, 1 combat fame credit is 2 fame at the lowest conversion rate. At the lowest. Not the highest, but the lowest. And so it doesn't get any lower than that. Which means, you know, since we've already farmed over 2 million combat fame credits in, what, 8 minutes? And then that's 4 million fame right there. We have already made 4 million fame worth of fame here. And I have made so many videos showing these numbers and showing how this stuff works. And I just figured, hey, let's do another one, man. I need to do some fame farming today. And, you know, level up like a healing weapon or something for funsies. Why not? Alright, let's get all these dudes packed up together. Now, there's a lot of upgraded mobs in this bunch. So, again, I'm trying to get curse stabs on all the damn archers here. Go ahead and pop heals, hit the beam, and try to get a channel on my W. But if the mob you're channeling your W spell on dies, your channel ends early. So you want to pick a mob in the pile that has a lot of HP remaining, and that's not always easy to do. It's not always, like, super possible to do. But, you know, you just got to learn to split up your attacks. There we go, 5,000 faction points in under 10 minutes. Under 10 minutes, 5,000 faction points. Remember, every time we hit... Oh, I just pulled a bunch of enemies. somehow. What the hell? I didn't even get near them. I'm gonna finish this dude off, and we could have done that pull. My cooldowns are ready to go once again. And, yeah, let's go ahead and just get on our mount here. And yes, I know there's an item on the ground. I'm picking it up. I'm picking up all the trash. It's fine. Alright. And, yeah, let's grab all these dudes. Look at this. Look at this juicy pull. This is a real juicy pull. Look at all these enemies. And they're remember, all of these enemies are giving upwards of, you know, 10 to 17 to 19,000 fame each. It's so good. It's so insanely good. And I am not lasering the group of enemies. I messed up. I messed up on that pull, and I still was able to do it. So, there we go. So what I ended up doing is I casted my W spell on the lone enemy that ran away from the pile, the damn archers. But, yeah, I was still able to kill him. Easy peasy. I mean, here's the cool thing, too, right? Is we're making all of this fame. We're making the fastest amount of fame in the entire game. And we're doing it in a complete save zone with 0 risk. Yeah, someone could faction flag up and beat me up. I'll get a repair bill for like 300,000. That's not a lot. For someone who has an established economy, it's not a lot of silver. And there are other I always hear this response too. There's too many people farming the zone, bro. No, there's not. There's usually maybe a few people here at a time, which you can clearly see that, you know, even with a few players that you've seen the nameplates of hovering around the zone, well, you know, I'm here farming just fine, right? I'm here farming just fine. They're here farming just fine. We're in our own lanes. We're doing our own thing. Yeah, I don't have all the mobs to myself, and that's normal. That's fine, right? It's a multiplayer game. You can't expect to have the entire zone to yourself. But these black zone guilds, they're like, oh, they're used to having the whole zone to themselves. When I was in a top 10 black zone guild, you know what? There were people that would claim the zone during certain times, and no one else was even allowed to fame farm in it. Look, that mob gave 31,000 fame. Now, I know you guys aren't, some of you guys do and don't realize this. Okay, this is actually a really hard pull. But, you all say things like, oh, well, the roads are the best farm, the roads. And they'll show a screenshot of soloing an elite boss by cheesing it. And the boss, you know, with satchel, with auto-respec, all that stuff, is giving you like 2.5 million fame. Yeah, that one boss that takes you a good solid 6-7 minutes, you know, to kill, it takes another 30 minutes to find, and you put a whole lot of risk, we'll give you a few million fame, right? Well, we've been playing like 12 minutes right now, and we've already farmed more than that with 0 risk, and it's guaranteed every single time. Anytime I want a fame farm, I can come here and expect and get the same consistent results time after time after time. And I don't have to gamble, I don't have to hope to find it, I don't have to hope that some rare spawn happened, it's just always here to farm. And, you know, even with other players around, I can just rotate this zone infinitely. And the mobs will always be respawned. Like, we've done one small lap around the zone. I didn't even get up here or up here, really. But remember, we started the video right here at the entrance. And, well, it's only been like 12 or 13 minutes. Guess what? Look, the mobs are back. The mobs are already back. And I can just pull them all again, just like I did at the start of the video, and smash them all again. I can even pull extras. Like, come on, get in here. You know, pile on, right? And, look, like, even with my cooldowns not being properly used, and, like, I'm still able to take them out. So, not only can you make multiple mistakes doing these pulls and still come out fine, unlike those Avalonian Roads bosses, you make one mistake, you get down, you eat a repair bill, some random doofus with a radar hack walks up to you, executes you, you lose 2 million in loot and gear, and then, you know, you just wasted 40 minutes trying to find the damn boss, and then someone steals your chest, or you don't make it home with the loot. It feels bad. This doesn't feel bad. This feels smart. This is the 100 IQ, 200 IQ, however many IQ you respect in your civilization, however much IQ you freaking need to, like, thrive in your part of the world. That's what people would do if, like, you know, scientists and big brain smart people played Albion. This is what they would do to fame farm. They wouldn't go to the black zone. They wouldn't sit around in the Avalonian Roads hoping for a little jackpot where they find a super secret boss. Look, the people filming those videos where they do the Avalonian Roads, they have an entire Discord of scouts. They have third-party programs. They have Portaler that's scouting for them. They have hacks, radar cheats, etc. You don't need any cheats. You don't need any third-party programs. You don't need a Discord. You don't need to hire people to scout the roads every morning for your stupid guild. you can just simply come here, because it's a static zone, it will always be here, it's not random, and just farm to your heart's content. Alright? You don't even have to be good at the game to do this. I'm just mashing all of my buttons piano style, right? I hit the Q button, I do some auto attacks, I wait on my boot cooldown and my armor cooldown. Now I hit my boots, now I hit my armor, now I hit my helmet, now I hit my Q spell again, now I hit my E spell, now I hit my W spell, and everything's dead. Look at their health bars, they're pretty much gone, right? And they would be more dead if they were stacked up, but these damn archers, archers are a real pain in the butt. If this zone had no archers, this would be insanely easy. It would be the easiest pulls ever. But, look, we can just do a big massive pull right here. Just pull everybody. What are they gonna do? These enemies can't really stop us. These enemies can't fight back. They can't burst us down. You know, we can just hit our buttons and we just heal back because of the roast pork. The day, I remember the patch day that roast pork became a thing. You know what I did? I knew how broken lifesteal was gonna be, because before there was a video. This game did not have lifesteal. All right, maybe like the one-handed dagger had some lifesteal. Also, there's bosses sometimes. Like this is a little boss character, little boss monster. He's easy to beat. He's just as easy as the regular mobs. He's not super special, and he's gonna give me way more fame. And there's a loot chest, so sometimes you get some cool loot. So like I've gotten a few million from these chests before, but most of the time it's only like 30k. Let's see what we get. All right, let's see what we get. We got 315,000. That's pretty damn good. And that's because of the cape drop and the 4.2 in there and stuff. So, again, look at the fame from that one boss whenever it shows up. It's still, it's got some catching up to do. But, it is, there is just no better fame farm in the whole entire game. And I wish there was, because I would show you. I would have more videos to make, right? I always want more videos to make, and the fame still hasn't caught up to the boss fight yet. It's getting there. Again, just give it some time. We'll see it. It's gonna be a pretty big number, like 50k, something like that. Get that cape out of there. All right. You would think they would fix the scrolling combat text, you know, by now. The game's been out I don't know how many years, but oh man, good stuff indeed. All right, let's see. Let's do some big boy pull or some medium boy pulls. Why not? There we go. Let's just get those archers and the wizards kind of stacked up. I didn't mean to push that button. So that's a bad reason not to use the bear. Is now my Q spell is on cooldown for like 10 more seconds. So I'm gonna have to just ride this out on the mount and wait for my cooldowns, because I can't Q puddle right now because I wasted it on the mount. But at least I can use my boots instantly, so that's nice. Also, you can see I'm getting, like, this is a really bad pull for me, so I'm popping all my heals and all my defensives, and look, I'm just back to full HP. Even in the worst case scenario, I just fully heal. It's ridiculous how powerful lifesteal truly is. This is why on the very first day of the patch, when roast porks got introduced, I leveled it up specifically on this character just to be able to make them the second the servers went live, so I could do these kinds of activities. Because back in the day, like I was saying, the only way to solo these things were one at a time with a one-handed dagger build, and it was so incredibly slow. But, you know, lifesteal food really paved the way and made it possible. And, yeah, it's, we might have missed the fame from the boss, but that's okay. There might be another boss. And look at this, we've only been playing, like, what, 18 minutes? Bro, I've been playing 18 minutes, and I've fame farmed more than most people can fame farm in a whole day playing the game normally. I'm not joking. I am absolutely not kidding. That's 29,000 on one of those mobs. Not the boss mob, though. Also, if I was to use laborers for this, you can level generalist trophy journals, you can level up mercenary journals. The thing is, all of my mercenary journals are filled, and I'm sitting on so much money that I don't really use my laborers too much anymore. But if you had mercenary journals, you could fill 400 journals killing these mobs in 30 minutes. 400 times 3,000 silver is a lot of silver in just 30 minutes of grinding per day. Man, look at this massive, massive pull. This is a huge XP explosion. Like, where else in Albion Online can you pull this many enemies at once and kill them all this efficiently and this quickly? Look at that. We just killed almost all of them in a single rotation. And you're telling me that you can somehow do better in the black zone? I don't think so, brother. I don't think so, man. And, you know, what I used to do, too, is I would go on, like, streams, and I would try to argue with people that, like, vehemently hate me under a random alt account, and I would try to figure out their reasoning, why they think this is not the best fame farm. And the only thing that, like, they're so close-minded when it comes to combat fame credits. And what it comes out, what I found out from speaking with them on my alt accounts is pretty simple. It's the fact that they can't afford auto-respec and satchel. But even, let's say you turned off your satchel and you turned off your auto-respec. You're not magically farming more fame in the black zone. You're still farming less fame. You're just farming less fame in total. Does that make sense? The satchel and the auto-respec are a multiplier, and just because you turned it off for the black zone, or you have it turned off in the blue zone, doesn't make it any less or any more. Does that make sense to you? Like, it should make pretty basic sense, right? So, you know, let's say you have $100 and you multiply it by 5, now you have $500, okay? Well, if you farm 100 fame, and you don't have a multiplier, you farmed 100 fame, and then if you're farming 80 fame, you know, then you're farming 80 fame. You're multiplying it by 5 regardless. One number will always be higher than the other regardless. And the reason it's higher, like I've talked to you this entire time during this whole video, is simple. It's because you're able to, 1, pull more mobs than you're going to find in the open world or in a solo dungeon. When you're doing these open world static dungeons, or these static zones, because we're not going into the dungeon. You can go into the dungeon, and there's a lot of mob density in the dungeons. You just can't ride your mount inside there, so the pulls aren't as efficient. But they're still pretty damn good. The reason why we're out fame farming everything else is mob density. Not because of the satchel, not because of the auto-respec. The auto-respec and the satchel simply tell you how much you can potentially maximize your farm with. So I can still out fame farm people with auto-respec turned off, with satchel turned off, absolutely. Now, one thing that people will also are concerned about is, you know, leveling up other specs. If they want to, like, say, level up the Holy Staff, they want to know that is it faster and more efficient, even without a satchel and auto-respec, to still farm fame credits? And the answer is yes, absolutely. You will absolutely out fame farm with fame credits than you would without. That's the whole point of fame credits. It's to reward you for maxing out your specializations and your masteries. That's what the game is, that's how it's designed. It's designed that so your first time you grind, you feel the pain of not having high levels and stuff. And any time after that, if you were smart, and the first thing you leveled was a fame farming set, then everything else becomes easy, so it incentivizes you to continue playing the game. Because no one wants to go use a really crappy slow clearing weapon like Staff of Balance and try to fame farm with that. You would be spending so much time getting the same results of just using the weapons I'm using and doing this for a few hours, and then you're done. You're done with the grind. You can go play. You know, you can go enjoy your 100 spec or whatever, right? And the game devs know this, and it's to retain players, but a lot of players, either they can't finagle the math, they can't figure it out, or they just, you know, because they played other video games, they are stuck in their mind, well, it should be this way. Yes, it should be. Look, I'm going to tell you right now. The best fame farm in the game should be the black zone. Why? Because it's the riskiest place to be. It's the highest level zone in the game. It absolutely should be the best fame farm. But the reality is it's not. You want to know other harsh realities? Doctors, lawyers, and surgeons should be paid the most money because they give the most to society. But you want to know who gets the most money? People that have OnlyFans. People that run weird, shady businesses, okay? Like, there's people that sell feet pictures and make millions of dollars a year. And you're telling me that that's somehow, you know, oh, well, that can't be right. That's impossible. That's not how it works. It absolutely is how it works. I don't make the rules. I don't understand the simps paying for feet pictures. But apparently, feet pictures are more in demand and worth more to society than a surgeon who can save your life and switch out your heart for a robot one or something, okay? The point being is that what should be is not what is. And that applies to Albion Online as well. Yes, this is a save zone. Yes, there is no risk. Yes, it is the best fame farm in the game. Should it be? No. No, fame farming should not be this easy. I enjoy a hefty and hard grind because the harder it is for people to level up and the harder it is for people to grind, the more powerful I can become because I don't have a job or a family or real-life obligations, so I can sit here all damn day and do the grind and hit max level, whereas someone who has 2 hours a day to play this game, who has a job and a family and children or whatever to take care of, would take multiple years to get to where I'm at in a weekend, okay? And I'm okay with that because it makes my job easier when ganking them in wherever I decide or choose to gank them. Why would I want my competition to be just as powerful as me? But, at the same time, you know, that's just not how it is, okay? So, all these people, all these dweebs telling you, oh, the black zone's the best, the black zone's the best. They're not telling you based on scientific data or proof or trial and error. They are simply telling you that because that's what sounds plausible. That's what sounds like it should be. And one thing that the society that we live in has a problem with, a huge problem with, is they make up something in their mind, and then they decide, well, that's just the truth, without any testing, any thorough examinations, or anything. And you'll notice that, you know, when you go to Reddit and you have people that say that I'm delusional or that, you know, all my stuff is made up. No, it's not. I show you the before and after numbers. I show you the results. This entire video, there's been no cuts and no edits. I literally just hit record and start talking into a microphone. Do you see any edits? Yeah, I can, like, flash text on the screen like that, right? But, you know, I'm doing that live. I'm doing that through the program that I use to record. I'm not doing that in post-editing or anything of the sort, right? And so when I show you the before and after of my fame credits, you know, in 30 minutes time, you can see the results for yourself. You can see that this is by far the fastest fame farm. And I've asked people time and time, oh, this is a really hard pull. I've asked people time and time again, prove me wrong. I want you to prove me wrong because I would love to know the best fame farm because then I can go do it myself. Why would I want to waste time doing an inferior method of fame farming, right? Why would anybody? I'm just like you guys. I want to know the best way to do things, the most efficient way to do things. And yeah, this pull is really dangerous. So I'm gonna have to maybe run from this one. But hey, we can clean up a few of these mobs. It's these enchanted archers, kind of in the back here, that are making things really tough. And yeah, my HP's getting real. Oh, I got stunned. Drink a potion. Drink a potion. Oh yeah, okay. I almost beat that pull. All right, so yes, I took a repair bill there. It's worth my time to take this repair bill. You know, like if I showed you my like potion crafting profits right now, it's like 7 million a day. Bro, it's like 7 million a day in profits, okay? And I almost beat that pull. Now, there's a reason why that when you go to Reddit also, people will tell you this build is not the build to use for these pulls. And I'll tell you why they're wrong after I loot. Ooh, 5-1 bag. Like, look at this guy. Let's see what he's wearing. Oh, no, he's wearing something similar, though mine is more efficient in terms of damage. No, what they tell you to do is they tell you to use those boots that turn you invisible, the boots of tenacity. They'll tell you to use those boots, because whenever you do a dangerous pull, if you're about to die, you can go invisible and save a repair bill. Well, that's a poor man's train of thought, right? A repair bill is nothing more than a small failure. You know, it's not a game-ending failure. It's not going to cost me that much. But to those guys, they're willing to sacrifice huge amounts of DPS loss just so they don't have to pay a 300,000 silver repair bill. Alright? And now there's also people like, well, if you go to Black Zone with a 300k set, you're basically having the same risk versus reward. And it's like, no, you're not. Because when you go to the Black Zone with a 300k set, you're not losing 300k to the system. Oh, there's a boss there. You're not losing 300k to the ether. You're losing 300k to Jose and Pablo and his 20 friends. That's who you're losing it to. Let's pull everybody. Let's get in here. Do a big juicy pull. The final pull before my roast pork runs out. Maybe. Oh man, I'm taking big hits here. All right. And I'm standing in some attacks here, but we're making it happen. We're killing them. And so Would you rather give 300,000 silver to nobody or to somebody that has a bunch of friends chatting in a Discord? Because unlike you, I'm not a cuck. I don't want to give my money freely to other players because they brought more friends than me, okay? I don't enjoy giving my silver to other players simply because they outnumber me or caught me in a bad position, you know? And even then, yeah, the Black Zone, it should be better. It absolutely should be the best fame farm in the game, but it simply isn't. I wish it was. You know, back in the day, it actually was, and a lot of people on Reddit don't even play this game. Like, they just hang out on the forums because it's like a habit that they do, right? But another reason why the Redditors just hate me so much is political reasons or like my beliefs. I have absolute belief in freedom of speech. I also realize that this is just a stupid pixel, you know, video game that shouldn't be taken seriously, and you know, saying silly things, you know, calling people hot dogs or whatever. It's not a big deal. And I want to be remembered, and I talk crap to all the guilds, which almost everyone is in a freaking guild in this game, right? Let's do a little baby poll, because we have 20 seconds left on our food, and then I will show you the results. And, yeah, pretty good stuff here. Let's go ahead. Let's just, you know, I did not mean to pull those other archers. Oh, man. We gotta close the distance so we can heal. There we go. We popped the heal off. And things are getting a little dangerous now because I think my food buff is just about out. Now, I do have some lifesteal because of the awakening thing, but without lifesteal, your HP will drop very quickly and you will not recover it, so you gotta be careful. Alright, so we are done here. We have fame farmed for 30 minutes. Just 30 minutes, right? Just 30 minutes. And look at this number. I believe, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not entirely sure, but I believe this number was 13 something. It could be 14, I don't remember the exact number. You'll have to rewind the video and check. But it's at 23,278,499. Now, let's look at seeing how much did we spend in this 30 minutes. Well, our silver is down to 87 million. So we spent 13 million silver in 30 minutes. So, yeah, that's it's a pretty hefty cost, but can you you know, you only need 17 million combat fame credits to level something up all the way. I'll show you right now. I will literally show you. Let's find a weapon where it's not leveled up. Okay, we have Fallen Staff. I'm probably never going to use Fallen Staff because I don't do guild stuff, but to level Fallen Staff from 1 to 100 would cost 16.9 million combat fame credits. Well, if I'm able to farm 10 million of this, possibly, or let's just say 9, you know, 9 to 10 million combat fame credits in 30 minutes, you know, well, then I can farm, you know, the other amount in, you know, another 30 minutes. Basically means that I was able to level up 1 to 100 in 1 hour. Now, let's compare that to, you know, there's a whole bunch of YouTube channels that do 0 to heroes. All right, those guys take anywhere from, like, 10 to 12 hours to level a weapon up as on a fresh character. And yeah, they're not paying 13 million silver, and you could be like, well, I can't make 13 million silver in 12 hours. Well, if you make 1 million silver per hour, which is pretty basic for gathering, then yes, you absolutely can. You totally can, right? So once you hit that 1 million per hour gathering, you'd be like, well, it's the same amount of time. Yes, but there's no risk. But what about your farming, your farms, your focus? Now, my characters is sitting at 30k focus because I like to use my focus for experiments on the test server, and my premium's running out in 14 hours. I don't feel like spending it, but I could. All right, I also have, like, I flip the market, which makes me 20 to 30 million a day easy. I do crafting, which makes, you know, 5 to 7 million on just this character alone. I have other crafting alts that I use. I have a chef alt, makes 5 to 7 million a day easy. Sometimes 2 million a day, depending on the market and the availability of products. But the point is that I am easily able to make multiple millions of silver with very little time investment, which I would rather save time doing the fame farm. And yeah, there's no contest. This is the best fame farm in the game, bar none. And I want to say that this was very low, like 100, and now it's at 20,000. I don't know exactly how much I had. I didn't open it up at the start of the video. I'm sorry, but look, I'm still, like, the fame stuff is still crawling on my screen. Look, It's crazy. Also, this is a really good reputation farm. If you like to red zone gank, you're going to burn through your rep super quick, and you can get it all back really, really fast. You can even 50k cap really, really quickly. Also, if you want to farm like the mounts and stuff, the challenge points, there's nothing that beats statics. Now, obviously on the beta server, you know, there was a beta server before the EU launch. You know, you can't expect to like take a new character and farm statics, right? And the beta server only lasts a week, so you're better off not spending 3 days grinding that up. But the point is that if you plan to play Albion Online for more than a month, you need to make this a priority. You need to make this set a priority because it's going to save you an infinite amount of time down the line later when you actually want to fame up a weapon that sucks for fame farming. Like I said, what's a really crappy weapon to fame farm with? Oh, look, the Staff of Balance. Do I want to spend 12 to 16 hours grinding this to 100? No, I don't. Do I want to spend 1 to 2 hours in a save zone? Yeah, I'm willing to do that. 2 hours ain't that bad. So, you know, it's totally worth it. It's also fun. It's a really nice activity to do, and it benefits your character in the long run. So everybody starting on EU, that's why I tell them start with the Curse Staff tree. I don't tell them to start with Shadow Caller. I tell them to start with the Curse Staff, and then once that's 100, you know, the Curse Staff doesn't need to be 100, but having high Curse Staff helps all your Curse Staff weapons, which Shadow Caller is a part of. Just having the 100 Mastery in Warlock allows you to wear the 8.3 Shadow Caller, which allows you to do this fame farm, but at the same time, it's not just about statics. I can go and I can fame farm a group dungeon and make a couple million silver from it. Remember we were talking about silver per hour stuff? Well, farming group dungeons with premium active in tier 4 or tier 5 zones makes me 2 million silver per hour. I can clear a 4-floor dungeon in 25 minutes. That means I can do about 2 dungeons per hour. Solo, it's meant for groups of players. It's meant for tank, healer, DPS, right? But I can do it in 25 minutes by myself, and all the loot inside that dungeon is going to make, you know, 2 to 3 million. So I don't even need to fame farm those dungeons. I can turn off the satchel, turn off auto respec, and just print 2 to 3 million silver per hour, completely risk-free. And that's not factoring in all the faction points I'll be earning. And if I'm a red zone ganker, I'll be getting all my reputation back. It's absolutely gorgeous. So 363,000 on the repair bill. That's because I had some stuff here, extra mounts, etc., etc. Now let's put our mounts away and see how much silver we made just on the drops, right? Just on the drops. So just on the drops, we made 547,000 in 30 minutes. So this is just running the static. Even if like, imagine I turned off the satchel, I turned off auto respec, I'd be making 1 million per hour. Now I did get a jackpot. I got this cape, undead cape, very expensive, 226k. I got some bag drops here, and you know, an okay amount of tome drops. But yeah, that's basically the jackpot. Also, this 4-2 is worth 11k, not a lot, but you can see that you know, especially if I had the 400 mercenary journals. All right, so like 400, what is that? 400 times two, we'll say 2,500. Okay, that's another million right there in 30 minutes. But it's going to take you another 30 minutes to feed all the laborers, right? So, and you know, if we check our faction point rewards, which we got 2 of them in 30 minutes, you know, you would get 4 of these chests, and these chests are really nice. These little iron campaign chests, right? So 547k, we're going to open both. Now we're at 664k, so it's about 100k. So that's a 200 extra k per hour, and each chest is worth, on average, 250,000 fame books, which is 230, 250. Hold on, let me sort. Again, so opening these faction chests, average 250,000 fame farm, right? Which you can apply to anything. So, like, what I usually end up doing is I just save all my fame tomes. I'll show you. I got a little stash going. And whenever I have about 20 to 30 million worth of fame tomes, I just blow it all on stuff I don't normally use, like plate armor, group stuff, etc. So, yeah, it's just really nice. And there we go. Mr. Beast made a 40-minute long video, so I'm making a 40-minute long video too. We got 30 more seconds. Thanks so much for watching. And leave a like, leave a comment. I need to read your comments. Please leave a legible, readable comment that doesn't have 3 emojis. I'm starting to block people that do like 3 emojis in a row. I don't know what culture you're from where that's okay, but emoji spam just pisses me off these days. I don't know if I'm just getting old or what. But with that said, I do thank you so much for watching. And please click the video on the right side of your screen. If you don't, then when you lay down, you're going to have some acid reflux, and you're going to choke on your acid, and you're going to have a bad headache.